This isn't just about the offensive line. You could point a finger at every single individual on that offense and find flaws and shortcomings and disappointing performances. But let's not kid anybody here. It's gonna have to start. This change, this upgrade, this improvement is going to have to start right there. Good morning to you. Good Thursday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports, and this is Daily Shot of Steelers. Comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer up daily shots of Penguins and Pirates, where you found this. Kevin Dotson, the second-year left guard, was one of the two players that the team put forth to reporters after practice yesterday on the South Side. And that was probably a good move on their part, because those guys, as young as they are, as inexperienced as they are, they've got some questions to answer. Not necessarily to people like me or the fans or anybody else, but to themselves, internally. I get that the job is tough. Anyone who's played on an offensive line at any level of football, much less the NFL, will attest to that. You don't snap your fingers and become good at it. You learn from mistakes. You learn from being exposed. And it stinks and it hurts when it happens. But these guys, these kids, in the case of everyone except for Trey Turner and I guess to a lesser extent Chuks Okorafor, they knew this. So they were able to prepare through rookie camp, OTAs, mini camp, training camp, preseason, and now they've played a couple of games. It's not like they've been thrust out there, say, in the way that you're going to see, or that you did see on Sunday, Isaiah Loudermilk and Jameer Jones going out there for the defensive line. And these guys were thinking there's no way they're going to get out there at any point in the season with all the veterans who are ahead of them. But there they were. That's not the way this O-line was set up or groomed. There was a real trust shown in them by management, by the coaching staff. I'd imagine that trust was based on something real, because as you and I are conversing right now, the Steelers are still sitting on roughly $9-10 million of cap space that could have gone into some kind of offensive lineman at some point. I don't mean now when there's nobody out there. I mean back when, you were building the roster. So I'd have to think that Kevin Colbert, Mike Tomlin, Adrian Clem, everybody looked at these guys and said they can do this. So when you're hearing from them individually, that it's right there. It's right there. We're just missing this one thing. Each play has one little thing wrong. We've heard it now in the past few days from Trey Turner, from Zach Banner, who's not even playing but is considered to be, by those guys, the leader of the group, and boy, will he be welcome back once he comes off IR. And Dotson said some of the same things yesterday, but Dotson also had to answer for why, when his Canton-bound franchise quarterback got hit 10 times the other day by the Raiders, sacked twice, there was more than one occasion where none of them, including Dotson, went back to help their quarterback up off the ground. Now, that's not some old, staid, get off my lawn kind of unwritten rule. It's been in football forever. It's just something that you do. Whether it's Ben back there or whether it's Mason Rudolph or whether it's some dude off the street, you go back there and you pick your quarterback up. Here's what Dotson had to say on that.
It was definitely embarrassing. It's like we weren't noticing it during the game. And then when you rewatch it, and you're like, dang, I really didn't go pick him up like I was supposed to and stuff like that. So it's we know it's not going to happen ever again, so that was definitely our mistake.
This portion of Daily Shot of Steelers is brought to you always by Point Park University. Choose from nearly 100 career-focused programs leading to bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. Choose when and how you'd prefer to do that studying, whether it's at Point Park's downtown Pittsburgh campus, whether it's online, maybe a flexible hybrid format would work best for you. Learn more about all of this at pointpark.edu. Get it together. There's no grading curve. There's no learning curve in the NFL. As Tomlin's enjoyed saying for years, other people are happy we have problems. They're happy about that. The Bengals and every other team the Steelers face are going to attack these guys, are going to test these guys. So get it together. Stop missing one little thing per play. Act like a unit. Support your quarterback. But within that, because I'm not being naive or silly here and thinking they can just snap their fingers and show up on Sunday and everything's just going to be okay, they, in turn, are going to need support. Not just putting Zach Gentry out there for 16 snaps like they did in Buffalo. I think they're going to need a confidence boost, that kind of support. Now, I want to talk about things that are common to all offensive linemen at all levels of the sport. Number one on that list is that they love to run the football. Okay, these guys will say the same thing because it's just, butt-kicking time. All you got to do is just blow away the man in front of you. There's not really technique involved as much as there is just brute force. They feel like they can just unleash it and let it go. Heard the same thing from the previous group of offensive linemen, and with gusto, with great big smiles on their faces too when that game was over and their running back had 110, 120 yards on the ground. They love it, okay? Give them that. Give them that. There's a really good chance that this offense won't have Deontay Johnson Sunday against the Bengals. If that's the case, go with two wideouts, Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool. Put a couple of tight ends out there. Utilize the fullback. I feel like that requires music. Dun, dun, dun. The fullback, Derek Watt. Ladies and gentlemen, Derek Watt. That actually came up with Tomlin on Tuesday. And he said something to the effect of, Derek Watt's a really valued member of our team. I mean, his bank account's got some value, that's for sure. But line up in what basically amounts to a power formation. Not a goal line, but not all that far from it. And just plow. Just plow. Keep them off your quarterback. Do it once. If it doesn't work, do it again. If that doesn't work, try a third time. They don't want any part of being run at all day long. The Bengals don't. No team does. It's how you wear down a defense. But if you look at the Steelers' number of carries, if you look at their number of rushing attempts, Najee Harris, who has almost all of them, has had 26 total in 2 games. And some of that's because they've been playing from behind, whatever. But it's 26 total. They're still dropping back, firing off some pass behind the line of scrimmage, and doing some other Randy Fichtner thing. This isn't working. This offensive line isn't working. But if the Steelers really believe, and they apparently do, in these guys, build them up a little bit. Protect your quarterback. Build up the rookie running back as well. And do it, and do it, and do it again. When we come back, just one question. Welcome back. It's time for Just One Question. That's always brought to you on this program by the personal injury law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, LGKG. They represent people who've been hurt in car accidents, who've filed for workers' comp, who need assistance with medical malpractice claims. The attorneys at LGKG will make you a promise, and they will keep that promise. They have been keeping promises in our region for over 80 years. Learn more at lgkg.com or by calling 888-842-5454. Mr. G has today's J1Q, and he asks, I've no delusions that I'm smarter than NFL coaches, but I've got a suggestion for the passing game, and here it goes. 2 tight ends, 1 on each side. 2 wide receivers, split wide on each side. Uh-oh. Najee in the backfield. Fake Najee up the middle. Both wide receivers go deep down their sideline. The tight ends curl up outside their hash marks. Ben pumps deep to one side and throws the other way. Thank you very much, and did I just make the Thursday J1Q? Yes, you did, Mr. G. It also sounds like you heard the opening segment to today's show. This play that you've described, I don't want to dump all over it here, but let's not forget that the other thing that has to accompany this, even though I definitely oversimplified it in the opening segment, is that you've got to blow up this safety that's hanging middle high. That has to stop. the Steelers have to find a way to start utilizing the middle of the field, which your scenario really didn't do that much, even with your tight end curls there. It's not a matter of just abandoning the pass and going smash mouth this or that, but it's a matter of keeping things, I think, going back to my suggestion, of getting as basic, simple, and safe as possible, while also, within that context, utilizing your quarterback and a couple of talented wide receivers to make things happen. When I referenced at the top of this episode that you can point a finger in any direction for the blame for what's happened to this offense, believe you me, I was not exempting the wide receivers. Chase Claypool getting 9 targets and 3 catches, that's not exactly anybody's breakout season. Juju Smith-Schuster's been reliable. He's caught everything. He hasn't been utilized enough. Maybe he's not getting open enough. That's been kind of an issue for him for a couple of years now. They need to be better. They need to make impact plays, not just one splash every 7 targets. They need to be reliable, dependable, get open, offer your quarterback real option type receivers, especially if Deontay's out, because you're losing your best bet really on 3rd down. Juju's that too, so I shouldn't say that. They need to be better. All of them need to be better. That even includes Najee. And he's brand new and everybody loves him and everybody's excited, but everybody on this offense needs to be better. And to me, that still starts right up front. I appreciate the question, Mr. G. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Steelers. We'll do another one of these to set up the game tomorrow.